chewy, dense, that little bit of chocolate on top, that delicious peanut butter flavor all the way through. So good, so yummy.
Let's get baking.
We're making plant-based protein bars. So we're going to start with 2 super ripe bananas. I've been saving these beauties just for this occasion. You want to make sure that they're very ripe because we're not adding extra sweetness. This is God's candy, and that's what we're going to use to sweeten our protein bars. So you could, I typically will peel these, break them into parts, and then freeze them. And you could absolutely use those, but I would thaw them first before you use them in these protein bars. A cup of oat flour. Now I have just ground oats in my food processor before I put the bananas in. But if you want to boost the protein even more, then I would do 3/4 cup of oat flour and 1/4 cup of vital wheat gluten. Now the vital wheat gluten is still considered plant-based, but it is processed a little more. So that is completely up to you. If you want whole foods plant-based, then stick with the 1 cup of oat flour. If you want a boost in protein, especially if you're a woman over 40, we got to keep the muscle. We need some extra protein, especially when we are focusing our diet on plants. So I'm going to boost mine with a little bit of vital wheat gluten. You absolutely don't have to. Now, if you've never worked with vital wheat gluten, it is simply the gluten from flour that has been washed repeatedly. And then this is what you have left over. It is gluten. So these will not be gluten-free if you use this. If you use gluten-free oats, then I believe that it is gluten-free. I am not a gluten-free cook, so check me on that. I'm going to put the recipe in the description below. If something isn't gluten-free, besides this, let me know in the comments. I appreciate it. But here's your vital wheat gluten. You can get it at Amazon. You can get it in most health food stores or in the health food section at your grocery store. It's a great way to boost protein, especially in baked goods. Now, here's what it does to the recipe, though. It makes it chewier. It gives it texture. It makes it firm. So you may or may not like that. A lot of vegan or plant-based meats are made from vital wheat gluten. So that gives you an idea of how chewy it's going to be. But again, it boosts the protein amazingly. All right, adding 2 cups of whole oats. Now to this, we're adding 1/4 cup of PB2. It really helps, again, boost the protein, great flavor, and not as much fat as from regular natural peanut butter. But by all means, if you want, you can add natural peanut butter or seed butter, whatever nut or seed butter you prefer. You're just going to probably cut back a little bit on the liquid. You probably won't need any. To that, I'm adding 2 scoops of vanilla protein powder. Now, I have a recipe at Intentionally Eat where I'll show you how to make my homemade protein powder that is plant-based. It's nuts, it's seeds, it's delicious. I love it. But for this recipe, I like to use, and I am not sponsored, Orgain Simple protein powder. I want that little bit of extra sweetness. So that's why I'm going to use this. These are for my husband, and he prefers a little bit sweeter protein bars. And then we're going to add a little bit of cinnamon. And if I didn't say this already, I'm going to link the recipe in the description below, so you can always find it there. And a little vanilla powder, or I'm not using my powder today, I'm using my vanilla extract. There we go. A pinch of salt and a little baking powder. Now, you always want aluminum free if you can. I was going to add the seeds for extra protein and fiber and all of the fantastic fats that these seeds add. So we're going to add a tablespoon of chia seeds and a tablespoon of flax seeds and a tablespoon of hemp seeds. We're going to blend all of that together. And you can see that it has formed a little bit of a dough, but it's still pretty dry. So if you were using regular peanut butter or nut butter, seed butter, then you would probably be okay right now. But because I use the PB2, I'm going to add a little bit of plant milk. And that's what we want. That's what we want that ball to form. All I've done is pressed the dough into my pan, my dish. Now, I like my protein bars just a little bit thicker. If you like a thinner one, then use a larger dish. This is an 8x6, I believe. And so it's going to give me a nice thick protein bar. And then I've just topped it with a few sugar-free dark vegan chocolate chips from Trader Joe's. You don't have to, that's just a little extra yummy that I'm doing. You could top it with whatever you like. You could put dried cranberries, dried raisins, any kind of dried fruit, any type of nut or extra seed that you would like in it. Dried coconut would be delicious. So just think about what you like in your protein bars and go for it. So we're going to put that into a 350-degree oven for about 20 minutes. Again, the recipe is going to be in the link in the description below. So our protein bars are done. I've just topped them with some delicious dark sugar-free chocolate chips. I'm going to give it a little taste test. Now remember, I made these thick because that's how I like them. You could make them thinner just by putting them in a 9x13 instead of an 8x8. So here we go. It's so yummy. Remember, if you don't like yours chewy or dense, then leave out the Vital Wheat gluten. Just use all oat flour. Otherwise, if you want that boost of protein and you like chew, add that Vital Wheat gluten. So good. Hope you enjoy.